Good morning students, this is Joy Varghese from Uncovering Chemistry. Today in this unit 7, that is P block elements, we are going to discuss about in video 11 we are going to discuss about preparation, properties and uses of dioxygen. Okay, dioxygen, when we say, it is most industrially important compound, what we say, and mostly it is used for various reasons with metals, non-metals. Okay, but preparation, there are two types are there. One is laboratory preparation and another is what we call it as industrial or commercial, that is in bulk, what we say, more proportion, what we say. So two ways it can be prepared. So first we will go through laboratory preparation of dioxygen. Okay, now dioxygen, what we say here, dioxygen can be prepared in laboratory by following ways. Clear? The first one what we are going to use is by heating potassium chlorate, permanganate or nitrates, what we call KNO3 is there. Permanganate KMNO4 and chlorate means potassium chlorate KClO3. Clear? So when you heat, this is the first method, that is when KClO3 is heated in presence of manganese dioxide as a catalyst. What you will get? You will get 2 KCl plus 3 O2, what we call. Now for balancing this, I think we need to keep this, then only I think it is being balanced. Okay, so 2 KClO3, when it is being heated in presence of manganese dioxide, you will get this dioxygen, what we say. This is a laboratory technique, what we say. Second technique is also there. Now when we say by thermal decomposition of oxides of metal low in the electrochemical series, that is this is what we call heating chlorates, permanganates or nitrates, what we call. Clear? You can prepare this. Second method is thermal decomposition. What is the word? Thermal decomposition. Thermal means by heating. Decomposition. Thermal decomposition of oxides of metal. The thermal decomposition of oxides of metal low in electrochemical series. Clear? Now if you don't understand, electrochemical series means low in reactivity. What is the word? Low in reactivity. Clear? So metal which are low in reactivity, that oxides of metal you can use to prepare dioxygen. That is the second method. Now in your textbook you can see it is given there 2Ag2O. When you heat this, thermal decomposition means what? Heating is required. It will give you what? 4Ag plus O2, what we call, this one. Okay, same way this is one metal Pb. O2 also you can take, what you say, lead dioxide, what you say. So PbO2, when you heat this, you will get what we call it as again oxygen plus Pb will be separated. 2Pb plus 4O2 will be there to balance. Understood? So this is one another preparation, what we say, by metal oxide. Third one also is given in your textbook, that is HgO, mercuric oxide, what we say. Clear? That you will heat, what you will get? Hg plus O2. Understood? So these are the technique. One more, I think it is given in your book of Pb3O4. 2 Pb3O4. Clear? On heating it, you will get what? PbO. Clear? That is lead oxide one you will get plus O2, oxygen. Okay, so these all are what we call it as thermal decomposition of metal oxide low in electrochemical series. Then what we say here, heating chlorate. This is chlorate. Permanganate means KMNO4. Nitrates means KNO3. Nitrates means KMNO3. Permanganate means KMNO4. This all if you heat in presence, what we say. This one if you heat in presence of manganese dioxide, you will get what? 3O2. This is used as a catalyst. Then thermal decomposition means compound get decomposed, get separated, what we call. Okay, so this is laboratory technique. Another technique is also given, decomposition of H2O2 in presence of catalyst. So that I will rub this. Just a minute. Can write down this laboratory preparation. This also is laboratory preparation. What we call it as decomposition of H2O2. Decomposition of H2O2. Now this is a disproportionation reaction. Disproportionation. So decomposition of H2 in presence of H2O2, hydrogen peroxide in presence of catalyst. Clear? Now this one, when we say in presence of catalyst, this one you can take it as reactivity. Reaction number 3. Okay. Now in this case, when hydrogen peroxide is what we call decomposed, what you will get? H2O plus O2 is the product what you get in presence of catalyst. Now in your textbook it is given finely divided metal, finely divided metal. You can see this is the catalyst, divided metal. Either this catalyst you can use, or what you call it as finely divided metal and manganese dioxide. Manganese dioxide means MnO2. You can decompose this hydrogen peroxide and you will get oxygen here. Understood this part? Now why this is called disproportionation reaction? The reason is the oxidation number of hydrogen peroxide, that what we have studied in 11th standard, is -1 in this case. Okay, here it is -2 and elemental state means 0. So when -1 to -2 means decrease, so that's why it is what? Reduction. Means oxygen is reduced. The same oxygen, when we say here the -1 to 0 means it is oxidized, right? So same element get oxidized and reduced. That's why it is called disproportionation reaction. Understood this part? What we call? So this one you can write down this oxidation number of oxygen in this case. Okay. Then electrolysis of water. So that is one another technique. I will just rub this. So this is all about laboratory preparation. Now we will discuss about what we call it as commercial, that is industrial preparation. Okay. Now when we talk about industrial preparation, what is the word? Industrial preparation. Yeah. Industrial preparation of dioxygen, when we say that is commercially. What is the word? Commercially, when it is being prepared. Okay. So commercially it is prepared by electrolysis. What is the word? Electrolysis of water. Water. Okay. So when electrolysis of water, when acidified by acidification, means acid you add so that it will get dissociated into ions, what we say, right? So when electrolysis of water, when acidified H2O2 is electrolyzed, O2 is obtained at anode. Means what? This is the simple reaction at the anode, because when we say electrolysis, two reactions are there, at anode also and cathode. So at anode this reaction will take place. What is given there? 4H plus O2 plus 4E minus, here 2 it will be. Okay. So this is the oxygen by electrolysis. At anode oxygen is produced. Why? Because oxygen is electronegative and anode is a positive electron. Anode is which electron? Positive electron. So oxygen is liberated at positive electron because it is electronegative. What? Oxygen. Understood this part? So this is one preparation. Another is by liquefaction of air. This is one technique. Industrial preparation. Second is liquefaction. Liquefaction of air. Okay. Now we know that air is a mixture of gases. Understood? So air is a mixture. So what is done? Fractional distillation or liquefaction. We have studied about liquefaction of CO2 in 11th standard, if you remember, right? States of matter chapter. So here liquefaction of air. Air is a mixture of gases. In that nitrogen is there, oxygen is there, water vapor is there. So from that first what will get separated? Nitrogen will separate first. Nitrogen will separate first and O2 is left out, what we call it as. Understood? So liquefaction of air, what we say, in your textbook you can read, industrially dioxygen is obtained from air by first removing carbon dioxide and water vapor, and then remaining gases are liquefied. Means this is second technique. First, when we say what is simple CO2 and water vapor, what we call it as, is being removed. That is obtained from air by first removing carbon dioxide and water vapor. Means first CO2 and water vapor is removed from air. Clear? Then liquefaction is carried out, and from there these two things are being separated. Understood this part? So this is what we call industrial method, what we are talking about, and this also is a large scale we prepare by acidification of water. This is the way how oxygen is being prepared. Okay? After removing this from fractional distillation, you can separate this N2 and O2. So this is the part what we have discussed: industrial preparation, electrolysis of water, and liquefaction of air. Okay. Now you can go through your textbook. What is given in your textbook on page number 189, it is given. So go through it regarding preparation. Now we will discuss about properties. Now when we talk about properties, there are two types of properties: physical properties and chemical properties. So first we will discuss physical properties. Now when we talk about physical properties, oxygen, dioxygen is colorless and odorless gas. That is the first physical property. That is, dioxygen is colorless and odorless gas. Clear? Then when we talk about solubility of O2 in water, or solubility of O2, what is given there in your textbook, you can see in water is up to the extent, that is 3 centimeter cube also you can write, or 3 ml in 100 centimeter cube or ml. Means only 3 ml is soluble in 100 ml of water, what we call. Understood? So that is the solubility of dioxygen, but this much less solubility is also enough for a marine or aquatic life to survive, what we say. Understood or not? So this is good that very less what we call solubility is there. Otherwise what will happen? All the oxygen in the air, if it is more soluble, that oxygen will get soluble in water, and then I think we have to use our what we call lungs has to be changed or adapted towards breathing in water. Understood or not? So we would also have to breathe through water. Like if more solubility is there, less oxygen will be there, what we call in air. So it is good that its solubility is less, but that is enough for aquatic animals and plants to survive. Okay. So this is the solubility of what we call dioxygen in water. Then another is also given. It liquefies. What is the word? It liquefies at 90 Kelvin, very low temperature it is, and freezes at 55 Kelvin, and freezes at 55 Kelvin, right? So this can be asked for MCQ to solve questions what I have written on properties. It freezes at what we call 55 Kelvin. Now oxygen has 3 stable isotopes, what we call. Oxygen has 3 stable isotopes. Now isotopes you must have heard of, same what I call number but different atomic mass. So 3 isotopes of oxygens are what we call it as O16, O17 and O18. What we call these are the 3 isotopes of oxygen, which are there. O16, O17, O18 are the 3 isotopes of oxygen. Understood? Then molecular oxygen O2 is a unique and is paramagnetic, even having what? O2 is paramagnetic, even though it has paired electrons. Okay, now this one we have already studied why it is paramagnetic. If you remember, PD, PU, like this means paired, then dimagnetic, unpaired, then paramagnetic. So this one. So even though paired if it is, then dimagnetic, but actually here it is what we call it as it is paramagnetic. Understood? It is different what we say. So this one now we have already studied in our 4th chapter in 11th standard, if you remember. 11th standard, 4th chapter, that is chemical bonding and molecular structure. You can go through it, the details what we have discussed. Okay. Now this was all about what we call it as physical properties. Now we will discuss about chemical properties. Which properties? Chemical properties. Okay. So I will got this, and then we will discuss about chemical properties. Okay. Now when we talk about chemical properties, okay. Now chemical properties, when we say the oxygens, what is it? Dioxygen reacts with metals and non-metal. Okay. Oxygen reacts with metals and non-metals to give various compounds, and also metals, non-metals and other compounds. Okay, so that we are going to discuss. That comes in which property? Chemical properties. Okay, so when we talk about metals, when we say calcium and aluminium, we will say that is this one is metal. This two what we are talking about is with metal. Clear? So 2Ca, what we say, plus O2 gives you what? 2CaO, calcium oxide. And when we talk about aluminium, that is 4Al plus 3O2 gives you what? 2Al2O3. Understood? So this one was with metal. Then we will talk about with non-metal. With what? Non-metal. Clear? Reaction with non-metal. So now in your textbook you can see they have given that reaction. Dioxygen directly reacts with nearly all the metal and non-metal except some metals. That is, with gold and platinum it will not react. Noble metals, what we say, gold and platinum, oxygen does not react, what we say. Okay, but with the metal, these few metals, what we say, that is given. Then now we are going to discuss about with the non-metal, that is carbon and phosphorus. Now carbon with oxygen, I think everyone know, it will give you what? Carbon dioxide. Phosphorus, P4 molecule, this is the elemental state, what we say. Okay, so P4 plus what we call it as 5O2 will give you what? P2O5, what we say, that is phosphorus, sorry, P4O10, sorry, P4O10, that is P2O5 dimer, what we say. So P4O10 is what we get when it reacts. So this is with non-metals, what we say. Now in your textbook there are certain reactions given with what we call it as other compounds also. Now the reactions with other compound. Now when we talk about the reaction with other compound, there are two reactions given. That is zinc sulfide. I think it is given there. When a zinc sulfide reacts with what we call it as oxygen, it will give you what? Zinc oxide plus what we call it as zinc oxide plus 2SO2, like this. Okay. Then what we call it as another reaction what is given is simple combustion reaction, that what we have studied in our lower classes. That is methane in presence of oxygen will give carbon dioxide plus what we call it as water, CO2 plus H2O. Okay, 2H2O will be there. Okay, now this was all reaction with metal, non-metal and other compound. Now in your book there are given some compounds are catalytically oxidized. What is the word given? Some compounds are catalytically oxidized. Okay. Now catalytically oxidized, when we say, there are two reactions which are given, what we say in your textbook. The one is the conversion of what we call it as SO2 to SO3 in presence of vanadium pentoxide. Conversion of SO2 to SO3. This is frequently asked, and here they ask the question that what is the catalyst used to convert sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide. The catalyst is what you call it as vanadium pentoxide is the one that is catalytically oxidized, what we say. Here 2SO3 will come. Clear? Another reaction what is given for catalytic conversion is HCl with water in presence of cuprous chloride. HCl in water in presence of CuCl2. Now, here in this case what we say, CuCl2 is what we call it as CuCl2 is used as a catalyst. You will get what? 2Cl2 plus H2O. Okay, so this is the reaction which is given with the other, some compounds are catalytically oxidized. That is given in your textbook. You can go through it. It is very simple reaction. Don't forget. Okay. Now the next one what we say, next one what is given are this part also over, properties over. Now we will talk about uses, right? Now uses many of you know, but we will discuss this just a minute. Now when we talk about the uses of oxygen, it is used, what we say, oxygen is used in respiration and combustion, what we say. It is also used in oxyacetylene welding, that is for cutting or joining two metals, what we say, in welding work and all. And also what we say for manufacturing of metal and steel, especially steel, what we say. Then oxygen cylinder are used in hospitals, what we say, high altitude flying, what we say, then scuba diving, underwater research or whatever, entertainment. Then mountaineering, if you heard about Mount Everest, when they climb they use oxygen cylinder. Okay, our soldiers also sometimes have to use oxygen cylinder at the Siachen, what we call highest altitude. Our border is there, what we say. Then what we say, it is used in fuel cell, hydrogen fuel cell, what we talk about, and also used as in rocket as liquid oxygen. They use hydrazine in liquid oxygen. Oxygen is being used, what we call. Okay, so these are all the uses of our dioxygen, what we say. So we have discussed about uses, properties, preparation, that is laboratory, and the industrial, that is commercial preparation. Then we discuss our properties, in which we discuss physical properties and chemical properties. Then we discuss about uses. So this all is a big topic, what we say, which you have to learn by heart and write down in your fair book. Okay, in the next video we will be discussing about the other topics. Okay, thank you very much.